Welcome back to the KOM Morning News. It's a four-state staple, a tradition, and a very important event and fundraiser. And we're joined by the man behind the Polar Plunge, not only for the Southeast Kansas Special Olympics, but he's a driving force throughout Special Olympics in the entire state of Kansas, if not the entire Midwest. Chris Moore of the Pittsburgh Police Department. Chris, number one, thank you so much for your time this morning. And number two, please know that, that from the bottom of our hearts, we know what important role you play. People may be familiar with the Polar Plunge. They see everybody jumping into a pool in freezing cold weather, but maybe some people think it's more antics than it is important. What do you tell people about the importance of the Polar Plunge?
The importance of the Polar Plunge that I put out there is this is Kansas's biggest event statewide. What people don't realize is the 30 seconds it takes somebody to jump in the pool and get out, we're raising over $200,000 across the state just for this event. We do numerous events across the state, but this event is like a staple. And once we get somebody hooked on it, it's easy to get them back and do it again. And it seems like their fundraising totals go from $75 to enter to we're hitting the $750 to the $1,000 a person. It's really awesome.
Well, and I think a large part of that, Chris, is because once you take part in the event for the first time, it's not only tremendous fun with the contests and the camaraderie, but you have an opportunity to meet these athletes, these young men and women that the Polar Plunge and Special Olympic benefits. What are some of the stories that you've heard people walk away with after they have a chance to meet these marvelous athletes?
You know, I've had some people contact me after the plunge and say, hey, I jumped in the water because we thought it was good to raise some money for Special Olympics. And now I got people that are calling me saying, hey, when's the next Special Olympics event I can volunteer for? Is there a way that I can sign up to coach Special Olympics? Is there a way I can do more for Special Olympics? So it grows from just jumping in some cold water to raise money and awareness for Special Olympics to growing into, we got a lot of college students from Pittsburgh State that actually are now volunteers. They leave Pittsburgh after graduating and have reached out to Kansas Special Olympics wherever they're at in the state and are volunteering for other events.
And so that's from a participant and volunteer perspective. And over the years, because this has become so important to you, you have developed very special relationships with these men and women and these fine athletes. What does it mean to them and their lives, and the fact that they're noticed around Pittsburgh, not as athletes, they're noticed as world-class athletes?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to say we've got some world champion athletes from Pittsburgh and Southeast Kansas. And it's pretty cool that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, there's no police officer that does law enforcement torch run for recognition. We do it because of the athletes. And after the smiles we see on an athlete's face after a Special Olympics event, or after I get to put a medal around their neck when they win a gold medal, it's life-changing. So it's something that we just enjoy doing. I know I enjoy doing because I've been doing it for the last 16 years, and I love it, and I'm not going to quit anytime soon. And so just the more people that come and get involved see how wonderful this organization is.
And folks, actions speak louder than words, and one thing that Chris won't bring up is he'll talk about his department as a whole. One thing he will neglect to tell you is that he is the largest single fundraiser for this event. Don't try to get out of here without me acknowledging that. Chris, now that everybody knows how important this is to the community, to the state, to the Midwest, but more importantly, to these young men and women, how do we get involved? Where do we go?
We have plunges all over the state. So if anybody doesn't live in Southeast Kansas and they want to plunge somewhere else, that's great. But Southeast Kansas Polar Plunge is February 12th. We plunge at noon. You can go to www.plungeks.org. You register for Pittsburgh's Plunge. You set everything up online. You can send people out the link. They can donate to you straight online. It's a minimum of $75. You get a really nice t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt that we put up. And we're gonna have a great time. We've got a bunch of teams signed up. We've got some Special Olympics organizations. We've got police departments, sheriff's departments. We've got a high school basketball team that's signing up. We got a high school cheerleading team that's signing up.
Awesome.
So it's just going to be a great time.
So once again, if you want to come as an individual, that's great. But I tell you what, as you're watching this, go to work, formulate a team, come take part in the costume contest, and more. And another thing I want to reiterate, Chris, while it's called the Southeast Kansas Polar Plunge, folks, if you're in Southwest Missouri, if you're in Northwest Arkansas, if you're in Northeast Oklahoma, come see us, because we're all doing it for the same great cause.
We're gonna let anybody jump. It's fine. It's fine. We don't care where you're from.
Chris, I will see you here in several weeks, my man, and thank you for your time. And number two, thank you for all that you do for our communities and everything that you've done and continue to do for Special Olympics.
Thanks for the invite.
Be back with more KOM Morning News right after this.